Thank you both so much for taking the time to chat with me today. How are you doing?
You're fantastic.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Amazing. Emerson, I wanted to go to you and just start off with, what does it mean to be working on a project like Uncoupled?
I mean, that's a small question, but the answer is huge. Where do I start?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I get to work with amazingly talented people like Tuc here, Neil Patrick Harris, Brooks X Mankis, Marsha Gay Hart, and Tisha Campbell, the creators of the show, Darren Starr, Jeffrey Richmond. I mean, it's been sort of a dream to work with Darren and Jeffrey for years. I've been a huge fan of Modern Family. I've seen every single episode multiple times of Sex and the City. I mean, it kind of felt like, I don't know, my dreaming and creative worlds colliding to end up being here. And then at the end of the day, I get to sit next to this guy and do interviews. It's, I don't know, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. There are worse things we could be doing right now.
Worse things we could be doing right now.
And Tuc, on the show, I want to talk about your character. I know we focus a lot on Michael and what he's doing in his newly single life, but your character, Colin, is also on a new life journey as well. So what can you tell us about his life in New York City?
Well, that's a good point, because it's a real challenge to reconcile a guy who breaks up with his partner of 17 years with no explanation. And ordinarily, when we see a breakup comedy like this, the couple breaks up, the ex is a jerk, and the hero moves forward, and he lives happily ever after by the end. But I think what Jeff and Darren have done here is something really different. Uncoupled is about an uncoupling. And so we don't just discard the other characters. We do see what Colin, the character I play who breaks up with Neil, what he goes through and what his life is like after having done so, and the ripple effect that our breakup creates, and the people who interact with that, his parents, his friends. So it's a more layered, more interesting story than I think your standard rom-com.
And just by, in a way, keeping Colin's character around and so much of the show starts to give perspective of the relationship from the other side, even though that's not the main narrative. You start to see, wait a second, maybe he had a few good reasons for doing what he did. You know, it's not just black and white. I think the complexity of that makes it a more interesting journey to go on with the characters while you're laughing and maybe crying a little with everyone.
Absolutely. I mean, and they have such a close group of friends. It's hard not to be like, how is that going to affect everyone around us? Yeah. And then there's also that play in on the, grinder and dating app aspect. So how was that for both of you to immerse yourselves in that kind of thing?
Well, that was one of my favorite scenes to shoot in the show, where I got Neil's character, Michael, to actually download Grindr and get on the app. We're actually at a club while we're doing it. I guess it says a lot about Billy. While he's introducing Mikey to the app, he meets somebody on the app and walks away halfway through the tutorial. So that's probably Billy in a nutshell.
My personal experience with those apps is they're sexier in theory than they are in real life. And when you find yourself at a breakup, especially at midlife, and you turn to the apps, you think, oh gosh, do I really got to do this? But I turned to Tinder.
Oh,
I went on 8 Tinder dates with 8 different guys doing the same thing. I went on 8 hikes and 8 cups of coffee, and it's no one's fault, but meeting someone on one of those apps, it's not like meeting someone in real life. So, as much as we collectively can meet each other in real life, it seems to work out better there, in my experience.
I'd rather have a great story, like you sat next to someone on an airplane and fell in love, rather than, I was up at 4 a.m. on so-and-so app and we matched.
So the takeaway is 5 more airplanes.
But however you get there, it's fine.
Right. I mean, there's the people that lie and they're like, oh, we met here when they met online, but it's everyone has their story.
Yeah.
Well, thank you both so much and congratulations on the show. That's all the time I have.
Thank you so much.